Hello, this is a tutorial on how to do one concern west quickly. First thing you want to do coming in here is a gun boost off to the right. And if you are low on tweak, you can kill these guys, but it does cause a bit of hit stop, which is a very minor time loss. Here, there's normally a door here, but I messed up and reset the area. So there's not. And after you open the door, just gun boost right on through. Then here, there's two things you can do to get up. Number one, that is the more advanced strat, kill boost off of this guy. Number two, pretty much the same speed, just jump off of that to get up. Coming down here, if you are lucky, you'll grab the ledge like I did there. If you're unlucky, Robin will just zip right past the ledge and you'll have to jump back up to grab it. Not much you can do about that. This room, Fleetfoot actually matters in this room. If you don't have Fleetfoot, you won't be able to do this strat. But basically the first thing you want to do, gun boost over to this ledge. And if you remember from the movement mechanics tutorial, when you wall jump off of something, you have a fixed speed of 500. But with Fleetfoot, your base speed is 520. And 500 speed is not enough to make it over to that ledge, or that little platform there, but 520 is. So what you want to do here is hold jump and then immediately fire your gun. That's just enough to make it right over to here. And this is the part that you need Fleetfoot here for. You have Fleetfoot, you can just go right across this gap. If you don't have Fleetfoot, just tank like that. No big deal. Alright, then this puzzle. This puzzle is ridiculously slow, so we're going to use our last extra key to ignore it. But there is a cutscene in the next room, so you want to dive into this transition to get the hyper speed. In this next room, it's very important to get on the right cycles here. Basically what you want to do is you want to do that. You want to wait a tiny bit and then swing onto the next one. But those lasers will hit you if you're not on the right cycle. Now thankfully, the correct cycle is just the cycle that you always get if you come into this room and go as fast as you can. I'm going to demonstrate that here. Then you need a gun boost to make this last gap. I would definitely recommend practicing this room, because if you don't make it across, that is a pretty big time loss, like 30 seconds at least. Definitely worth the practice time. This room, you want to gun boost straight up to this ledge, and just progress pretty normally through here. You can kill those guys with a charge shot. Dodge there, otherwise that will hit you. You almost run out of air here, but not quite, so don't worry about it. This room here is pretty trivial with Dodger. You just dodge through the lasers. Without Dodger, it is a massive pain in the ass. I'm not really sure what Konjak was thinking here. And now you have Usurper, the teleport gun. The fastest thing to do here after grabbing it is that. If you mess that up more than once, I would recommend just doing a charge shot to get through. Slightly slower, but it's going to be faster than messing around trying to get the proper strat. Coming through this room, and do a little boost downward faster. If you jump right about here, you can make it just barely through that gap and keep your speed. But if you don't, no big deal. Just do another gun boost in this hallway. And you can see here, you don't actually need Usurper to get through this gap, if I can time this properly. Oof, that was a lot of tries. You do need it for later in the game though, so you cannot just skip it. And after this cutscene plays right here, you'll be in the middle of the room. So what you want to do is go left here, and then jump up here. And also, I should mention, Usurper has the lowest cooldown of any gun. So like, just for general movement purposes, from now on, you want to be using Usurper. In this room, though, there is an enemy on the bottom tier and some rocks on the upper tier. So what you want to do is you want to shoot to break the rocks, and then shoot to kill that enemy, and then teleport in here, and if you can, do that. Otherwise, just swap with this thing to get through, no big deal if you have to. Then right here, this is kind of wonk. If you try to teleport up, it just doesn't work sometimes. I'll do it a couple more times to see if yeah, there we go. I was holding up, and it just kind of like didn't work. So what you want to do instead to prevent that from ever happening is just shoot downward and grab the ledge. Here though, that's not an option, but it's not really a problem, so no big deal. Here, you can just shoot a rocket, and that will knock this platform over to you faster than a bomb. This is pretty easy. Just make your way past all these dudes. And then here, there's some computer over there that tells you about this secret, but you don't need to read it, you can just go straight there. You want to dive onto this thing, and this box isn't actually needed for the puzzle, but it is needed for a skip that we're going to do, so you want to pull this box out. And then that thing over there, you can hit with a charge shot from over here. So what you want to do is charge up your wrench, fire a shot over there, grab this box, and then there's a zip we're going to do here. You want to toss the box so that it lands underneath the door. That's important. Alright. Then from here, what needs to happen is you need to do the same kind of zip as in the Silogar before the skip with the fishes. Which is, you jump a little bit beneath the box, and then you stomp, and it'll teleport you on top of the box and zip you upwards. This is a pretty big zip. That takes you all the way back up here. If you miss that, it's probably like a 30-second time loss. It's a pretty big deal. I would definitely practice that one. This room here, there's an annoying laser dude. You can just kill him with a rocket. No big deal. Just dodge her through these things. Don't walk into them like I did. Alright, now this boss fight has a skip or not a skip, a cheese that makes him super trivial. Normally you're supposed to like swap with him and do a bunch of shenanigans. What you can do is just go right up to him. His initial position is perfectly over one of the spike pits. And just crouch in front of him and spam your bomb gun, and he will repeatedly fall into the spike pit until he dies. It's as easy as it sounds. On the killing blow, swap to Usurper, because that is the optimal gun for movement. Make your way down here. There's some lag frames when you get over to Mina here for some reason. The only place in the game that happens, otherwise very smooth. And it is faster, of course, to not be walking in the goo. So you want to do gun boosts to get out of it when possible. bunch of cutscene triggers you need to hit here, nothing too interesting. Just dodge her through this again and do a slope boost. This time around, this guy's too close to kill with a rocket, so what you want to do is swap with him to kill him. His hitbox is a little awkward, it's more right than you would think, but it's not too hard to hit with some practice. Alright, now you have two options here. There's a laser up ahead, and you can either dive through it, or you can swap with it. I choose to swap with it, because diving with it, I tend to get hit by the guys after the laser. Diving through it should be slightly faster though, so if you want to try to lab out how to do that without getting hit, go for it. It's really not that big of a difference though. Coming up here, probably the most complicated puzzle in the game, but it is trivial to skip. You just jump to the right there and then shoot a bomb to the left. Not much more to it. Okay, now here, you see in the top right there, there's the boxing glove dude and the swap eyeball thing in the same spot. Now if you shoot your swap gun immediately as the guy aggroes, you'll hit the enemy. And then there's a little period after that where you'll hit the eye, and then if you wait a tiny bit more, you'll hit the enemy again. You pretty much, in any situation, you want to hit the enemy instead of the eyeball so that you don't just get immediately shit on by him by teleporting into him. So you can either do it instantly or wait a little bit, it's your choice. I do it instantly for the first guy and then wait on the second guy. Wait on the third guy as well. It's just a little safer. That is that puzzle. Pretty simple, you just have to remember to recharge your wrench, because if you don't, then you'll be going through the fog or smog clouds like this, and you'll probably suffocate. Much slower, you need the fast movement to make it. And right here is the black boss fight. At the start of the fight, there is a scripted attack where she hits you almost to death. What you want to do at the start of the fight is just spam your gun, because you want to get as many shots off on her as you can before she starts hitting you. And then you can choose to just go ham on her if you want, or you can kill a couple of the dudes to get health back. I choose to get health back because this is pretty far in the run and it would be kind of tragic to die. And once you've got some health back, you can just kind of start hitting her again. If your usurper is all the way full, the stun gun does basically nothing to her, so it's not really worth it to swap to it. You should just hit her with the wrench. And that about sums up this fight. You can pretty much just tank her. It's not that important to dodge. Like, that said, you shouldn't tank just for the sake of tanking. Like, if it's an easy attack to dodge, you should. Generally, she doesn't have time to do anything other than those simple fist things, which makes this a pretty basic fight. I don't even know what most of her attacks are, honestly. Oops, did not mean to pause there.